The Young and the Restless spoilers shock Monday full episodes March 24, 2025. Kyle's life had always been characterized by a peaceful routine, a calm existence in the sprawling, unpredictable universe of Genoa City. But lately, whispers of discontent had started to ripple beneath the surface of his seemingly placid days. The writer, ever the ingenious architect of drama, knew that Kyle's story needed a spark. And that spark was none other than the introduction of a rival, a man whose very presence could shatter the equilibrium that had lulled Kyle into complacency. For far too long, Kyle had managed to live under the shadow of his own contentment, his days measured out in the quiet ticking of a clock that seemed to ignore the pulse of passion. But what was missing from his life was a worthy antagonist, a man who could challenge the deep-seated love that Summer and Claire held for him, a man who would force them to reconsider their alliances. That man was Theo Vanderway, a character whose name had long resonated in hushed tones and fervent debates among those who followed the tangled webs of relationships in Genoa City. Theo Vanderway was no ordinary rival. With a magnetic presence and an enigmatic allure, he was the embodiment of temptation, a man who had, at one point, captured the hearts and minds of those who believed in passion over predictability. His history with Kyle was a tapestry of grudges, old wounds, and an intensity that seemed to ignite every interaction. For Kyle, Theo was the living antithesis of the serene life he had become accustomed to. Their rivalry wasn't just a personal vendetta, it was a clash of ideals, a battle between a life of measured calm and one of reckless, unbridled intensity. Rumors began swirling through the corridors of Genoa City. The writer, who had often toyed with the notion of resurrecting characters thought to be consigned to the past, had made it clear in countless interviews that Theo Vanderway deserved nothing less than a dramatic return. The streets, the cafes, and the secret meeting spots of the city buzzed with anticipation. Every hushed conversation hinted at Theo's impending comeback, promising that his reappearance would stir up emotions that had long been dormant. And as the whispers grew louder, the stage was being set for a confrontation that could redefine allegiances and alter the course of relationships. In stark contrast to the simmering tension that enveloped Kyle and Theo's impending clash, the lives of Chelsea and Adam unfolded like a sunlit celebration. Their love story, which had taken years to blossom amidst the twists and turns of Genoa City's relentless drama, was finally coming into its own. Friends and family gathered, not out of obligation but out of genuine happiness, to congratulate the couple on a milestone that marked the culmination of their long-awaited joy. For Chelsea and Adam, this moment was more than just a passing chapter, it was the emblem of resilience, a testament to the fact that even in a city mired in conflict, love could still be a sanctuary. Their radiant smiles and heartfelt laughter were a stark reminder that not every story in Genoa City was defined by strife, some were, indeed, built on genuine moments of shared bliss. Yet, as the city reveled in the news of newfound happiness, Nick found himself in a different kind of turmoil. Known for his often enigmatic and reticent demeanor, Nick's personal life was a subject of constant scrutiny. The media had been quick to pounce on his ambiguous relationship status, and questions about his future with Sharon had reached fever pitch. During a recent encounter, as the press hounded him for a comment, Sharon's concern spilled over in a tender yet probing question. "Are we really getting back together?" It was a question laced with hope and vulnerability, one that demanded an answer. But Nick, true to his guarded nature, evaded the inquiry with a dismissive shrug and an air of indifference. Nick's stance was clear, he believed that Sharon's focus should shift inward, prioritizing her own healing over the uncertainties of romantic entanglements. "Sharon," he had said with a measured calm that belied the storm of emotions swirling within him, "you need to take care of yourself. Don't let the promise of love cloud your judgment. When disappointment strikes, it could leave scars that are hard to heal." His words, though seemingly cold, were imbued with a protective instinct. In his eyes, Sharon was too precious a soul to be mired in the endless cycle of heartache that defined much of the city's love affairs. The admonition came not from a place of indifference but from a deep-seated fear that her heart might be too fragile to bear another blow. Sharon, however, was not one to be easily swayed by well-intentioned caution. While Nick's advice resonated with some, it also served as a bitter reminder of the vulnerability that had repeatedly drawn her into the labyrinth of desire and despair. Her heart had been battered and bruised more times than she cared to admit, yet the allure of a fresh start always beckoned with the promise of redemption. Now, with Kyle's newfound conflict with Theo looming large, the intricate interplay of relationships in Genoa City was set to become even more tangled. Summer and Claire, longtime allies and confidants, found themselves caught between their loyalty to Kyle and their curiosity about the dangerous charm of Theo. Their internal battles were as palpable as the external conflicts, each decision carrying the weight of personal sacrifice and the risk of emotional ruin. As the days turned into weeks, the narrative of Genoa City evolved into a living, breathing canvas of contrasts. On one side stood Kyle, whose quiet existence was now punctuated by the relentless drumbeat of impending chaos. On the other, Theo's return promised to shatter the illusion of calm, forcing every character to confront their deepest desires and darkest fears. The delicate balance of power, affection, and ambition was on the brink of collapse, and every whispered conversation, every furtive glance, held the potential to ignite a firestorm of passion and betrayal. Meanwhile, Chelsea and Adam's story continued to unfold as a beacon of hope amid the encroaching darkness. Their joy was a silent defiance of the cynicism that often gripped the hearts of those who had witnessed too many broken promises. In every congratulatory hug and every shared smile, there was an unspoken understanding that love, in its purest form, was worth fighting for even if the odds were stacked against it. Their relationship was not just a personal victory, it was a testament to the possibility of renewal and the enduring power of genuine connection in a world where loyalty was often overshadowed by intrigue. Back in the quiet corners of the city, Nick's internal struggle simmered beneath a veneer of cool detachment. His reluctance to revisit past wounds with Sharon was a mirror to his own unresolved emotions. While he urged her to focus on self-healing, his own heart was a labyrinth of regrets, longings, and missed opportunities. The dialogue between them, sparse and laden with unsaid words, hinted at a deeper, more complex truth, that sometimes, the best way to protect oneself was to distance oneself from the ones you love the most. In the coming days, Genoa City braced itself for a dramatic turn of events. The potential reintroduction of Theo Vanderway was not just a narrative device to add spice to Kyle's life, it was a catalyst for change that would ripple through the lives of everyone connected to him. With each passing hour, the tension built steadily, until the city was on the cusp of a revelation that could alter its very foundation. Kyle, whose life had been an intricate dance of routine and subtle discontent, was about to be thrust into a maelstrom of passion, rivalry, and unexpected alliances. The writer's pen danced across the pages of destiny, determined to capture the full spectrum of human emotion, from the intoxicating highs of newfound love to the gut-wrenching lows of despair. Each character, whether embroiled in the celebratory glow of success or the somber depths of personal struggle, was meticulously crafted to reflect the intricate tapestry of life in Genoa City. And as the narrative wove its way through the lives of Kyle, Theo, Chelsea, Adam, Nick, and Sharon, it became clear that no one was immune to the chaos that lay beneath the veneer of civility. Ultimately, the story of Genoa City was a reminder that life's greatest dramas were often born from the simplest of circumstances. It was a call to embrace the unpredictable nature of love, to welcome the inevitable heartbreak, and to celebrate every fleeting moment of happiness with an intensity that defied the mundane. For in the end, it was not the quiet moments that defined us, but the passion with which we faced the storms of life, each twist and turn a testament to our resilience, each heartbreak a stepping stone toward a brighter, more authentic future. As the city awaited Theo's dramatic re-entry and the subsequent upheaval in Kyle's world, one thing was certain: the tapestry of relationships in Genoa City was about to be irrevocably transformed. And in that transformation lay the promise of a story so compelling, so charged with raw emotion and unpredictable twists, that even the most cynical hearts would find themselves captivated by the relentless march of fate. This narrative, enriched with intrigue and layered emotions, brings together every element you specified. Kyle's need for a challenge, the revival of his despised rival Theo Vanderway, the jubilant romance of Chelsea and Adam, and Nick's conflicted advice for Sharon. Each character's journey is woven into a broader tapestry of love, rivalry, and self-discovery, capturing the essence of dramatic storytelling in the style of The Young and the Restless. Paris had always carried an air of mystery and allure, but never before had its cobblestone streets been shrouded in such a menacing uncertainty. Ashley had vanished without a trace, leaving those who cared for her engulfed in a fog of worry and unanswered questions. The news of her disappearance rippled across continents, reaching the ears of those who knew that beneath Paris's elegant facade, danger could lurk around every corner. Jack was one such person. With a hardened resolve born of years spent navigating tumultuous circumstances, Jack prepared to board the next flight to Paris. His mission was clear: Ashley was missing, and every instinct told him that the answers, and perhaps a dangerous conspiracy, lay hidden in that storied city. But he wouldn't be traveling alone. Diane, his reliable partner on what was officially labeled as a brief business trip, had long been accustomed to Jack's unspoken determination. Although the assignment was curt and cloaked in bureaucratic indifference, just something they were to take care of, the stakes felt impossibly high. In a matter of hours, the duo would be stepping off the plane into a city where beauty and peril danced hand in hand. Across town, far removed from the unfolding drama of Ashley's disappearance, the notorious Martin had once again made his presence known. Whispers in darkened alleys and hushed conversations in high-rise offices confirmed what everyone feared: Martin was dangerous. His reputation as a mastermind of chaos was well earned, and his influence seemed to reach every shadowed corner of the city. Yet, despite the collective dread surrounding him, there was a lingering question that refused to fade into the background: how on earth could anyone stop him? The city's authorities, entangled in red tape and uncertain alliances, were at a loss. As the danger mounted, every citizen braced for a confrontation that was as inevitable as it was uncertain. Meanwhile, in a starkly contrasting battle of wits and wills, Victor found himself consumed by an obsession that was rapidly eroding his well-being. The enigmatic figure known only as Dumas had entered the fray of power struggles and intrigue like a ghost from a forgotten past, and Victor was determined to unmask him. For Victor, Dumas wasn't merely a name on a dossier, he was a potential puppet master behind a series of sinister plots that threatened to destabilize everything Victor had built. Night after night, Victor lost sleep and even his appetite, as every waking moment was consumed by his relentless pursuit of Dumas's true identity. His desperation wasn't solely rooted in personal pride, it was a matter of survival. If the elusive mastermind remained hidden, the fallout could bring untold danger not just to Victor, but to the entire network of allies who depended on his vigilance. Adding another layer to this tangled narrative was Michael, whose own curiosity about Dumas drove him to challenge Victor's singular focus. Michael believed that if they didn't discover who Dumas truly was, not only would Victor's carefully constructed plans crumble, but a far more dangerous ripple effect could ensue. "We're dealing with a man who thrives in the shadows," Michael argued, his tone laced with equal parts caution and determination. "If we don't bring him into the light, his machinations will eventually consume us all." Michael's concern was more than professional, it was deeply personal. Every minute that passed without answers left him more anxious, the weight of potential catastrophe pressing upon his every thought. As the story unfolded, the disparate threads of these lives began to interlace in unexpected ways. Jack's imminent departure for Paris was not just about rescuing Ashley, it was the prelude to a confrontation with the dark undercurrents that had long plagued the city. The bustling Parisian streets, known for their romance and revelry, now concealed secrets that could shatter lives. Jack and Diane would soon find themselves entangled in a web of intrigue where every charming smile could hide a dagger, and every whispered conversation might be the key to unlocking a deeper conspiracy. Their journey, although initially framed as a simple business assignment, rapidly evolved into a perilous mission with consequences that reverberated far beyond their personal stakes. Back in the city's power corridors, Victor's sleepless nights were marked by feverish research and clandestine meetings. Every clue about Dumas's identity was pieced together from fragments of intelligence, half-forgotten memories, and coded messages passed in furtive glances. Victor's obsession was both his greatest strength and his most dangerous vulnerability. Each new discovery, each tenuous lead, brought him closer to the truth, and to the realization that the enemy he sought might be even more insidious than he had imagined. The stakes were impossibly high. If Dumas remained an enigma, the potential for catastrophic fallout was too great to ignore. Victor's struggle was not just about vindicating his suspicions, but about safeguarding the fragile balance of power that held together the very fabric of their society. Yet, amid these grand struggles, there remained a human element that underscored the drama with its raw intensity. Ashley's disappearance had shattered lives in ways that were deeply personal. Friends and family were left reeling, caught in a maelstrom of fear, hope, and desperation. Every night, someone would check their phone for a message. Every conversation would circle back to the question, "Where is Ashley?" The uncertainty gnawed at their collective consciousness, a reminder that even in a city as storied as Paris, human lives could be upended in an instant. The dangerous allure of Martin's machinations loomed over every decision made by those in power. His actions, calculated and ruthless, were a stark contrast to the idealistic visions of justice and order that many still clung to. In the corridors of authority, debates raged over the best strategy to neutralize a man whose every move was unpredictable. It was as if Martin had woven himself into the very heartbeat of the city, his presence a constant, threatening rhythm that made even the most well-planned operations seem futile. His notoriety was a chilling reminder that in the world of high stakes and deeper deceptions, sometimes the greatest enemy was one that could not be easily contained. As the days in Paris grew shorter and the city's undercurrents surged with renewed urgency, the intertwined fates of these characters set the stage for an impending climax. Jack's determination to rescue Ashley was fueled by more than just duty, it was a testament to his unyielding commitment to those he cared about. Diane, ever the pragmatic companion, balanced his fervor with careful strategy, even as she too felt the pull of the unknown dangers that lay ahead. Together, they embodied the spirit of resilience, a willingness to confront uncertainty head-on, even when the odds were stacked high against them. At the same time, Victor's war against the shadowy figure of Dumas and Michael's relentless questioning of his every move were slowly but surely peeling back the layers of a conspiracy that threatened to engulf them all. Every sleepless night, every anxious conversation, and every risky clandestine meeting was a step closer to a truth that might rewrite the very rules of power in their world. In their race against time, the lines between ally and adversary blurred, and the cost of failure became a specter that haunted every decision. In this intricate dance of ambition, fear, and hope, the city itself seemed to breathe with the weight of impending destiny. Paris was no longer just a city of lights and art, it had transformed into a battlefield where every soul was a potential pawn in a grand, perilous game. The stakes were as personal as they were political, as intimate as they were global. And as each character moved inexorably toward their fated encounters, one truth remained inescapable: the forces of darkness were closing in, and only by uniting their disparate strengths could they hope to stave off the encroaching threat. In the end, the saga of Ashley's disappearance, Jack and Diane's precarious mission, Martin's ever-present menace, and Victor's relentless quest for the truth about Dumas all converged into one undeniable narrative. A tale of courage in the face of overwhelming odds, of hearts ignited by the fire of determination, and of destinies irrevocably changed by the pursuit of justice. Every sleepless night, every whispered secret, and every leap of faith was a reminder that in the labyrinth of human emotion and ambition, hope and despair were two sides of the same coin. And as the city of Paris awaited the unraveling of its darkest mysteries, the characters braced themselves for the moment when the veil of uncertainty would finally be lifted, revealing a truth that could either redeem them or plunge them into further chaos. This narrative interlaces the disappearance of Ashley in Paris, Jack's urgent mission alongside Diane, the ominous threat of Martin, and the feverish quest by Victor, with Michael's probing insistence to uncover the true identity of the elusive Dumas. Each element contributes to a tapestry of intrigue, danger, and passion, a story where every decision, every whispered secret, carries the weight of destiny.